Today, I'm going to be showing you this doorstop alarm, what it can do, what it doesn't do, and who this might be good for. All right, I'll be honest. When I first saw this product, I thought, well, that's kind of dumb, because I was thinking along the lines of jamming this underneath your door and setting off an alarm is not going to do a dang thing to keep somebody from coming in your house. But I've opened up my mind a little bit, thought outside of the box, thought about certain audiences that this might be good for, certain places in the world where this might be good for, and definitely some things that it's not practical for. Now, as an alarm system, as a home defense mechanism, is this the best thing out on the market? No. I mean, it's not a home security system. It's not going to text you and notify you when someone's entered your house. It's not going to set off an alarm and call the police. All it's going to do when you push on when the door opens and it presses down here is to set off a really loud noise. Now, can that be a deterrent for someone trying to get into your house? Yeah, in the same way that realizing there's a camera on the doorbell and they're going to be seen and there might be more cameras in the house might be a deterrent for someone that doesn't want to get caught and doesn't want to be arrested. But to be honest, when I first saw this product and its product page, I saw a picture of a man at the door where this was inserted behind it, who was holding a really big knife and a bag. And to me, that felt kind of scary. He looks like he's trick-or-treating with a machete. Does having this underneath my door make me feel any safer in that scenario? Not really. There are ways that I think this does work. Number one, it works as a regular doorstop. There are grips underneath this, so it doesn't just slide around. Like, have you ever gotten a door stopper where even a breeze can move your door? In my bedroom, when our window is open, my door will frequently slam anytime that there's like a gentle breeze. It doesn't have to be super windy. A little breeze and my door goes slamming. And even when I had another like plastic door stopper underneath there, it would still slide my door. It wouldn't slam shut, but it would still slide it and like move it back and forth. To be honest, I am using this thing without a battery underneath my door when I want to hold it open, or I'll put it right at the corner so that if my door does go to slam, it hits this and stops. So yeah, I use this as a doorstop and it doesn't move around. Even when the door slams into it, it stays in place. It works. Now let's talk about this as an alarm. So there are a couple different buttons and features on here. So you've got the sensitivity over here, where you can go high, medium, or low. So all that basically means is a little gentle tap when you're on high sensitivity is going to set this off. So if you want it to be, it only goes off not when there's like a rumble in your house, but when you really push something into it, put it on a low sensitivity. I still feel like with a low sensitivity, it works. I'll demonstrate and we'll tell the difference here. There's also an on and off switch. Right? So if you want this to not be set off if somebody bumps into it because it is crazy loud, just turn it off. Underneath, you have the compartment where you can put in your 9-volt battery. I am really prepared for this review. I have 2 different batteries here today, mainly because I am going to show you how loud it can get, but seriously, I don't want to alarm my neighbors. My windows are open by setting this off when it's going really loud. So, thankfully, I have this battery here that my smoke detector has notified me is running low by beeping at me in the middle of the night. Why do you always get those notifications at 2 in the morning? This has been in my smoke detector for quite some time. The battery is low. It's good because when your battery gets low in this, there's no notification to let you know it's getting low, but as the battery is getting low, the sound is going to get more quiet and it's not going to be as loud. So if you feel like your alarm is getting quieter, you just need to change your battery. If you have issues with loud noises, this part of the video is not going to be for you. Right, Ruby? She is not going to enjoy this. She knows what's coming. She's just left the room. All right, now I'm going to turn it on. What sensitivity is on? It doesn't matter. As soon as I press this, it's going to show you how loud it is. Ready? Oh, well, that didn't work. It's actually pretty important to make sure that you put the battery in the right way. Oops. Hi, buddy.
What was that?
I just accidentally turned this, set this off the second that my son opened the door. He didn't hit it with the door. I was just putting the battery in. It was turned on the second that he opened the door. And welcome home. Everything's fine. I'm gonna turn this off and then put the battery in. I'm sorry. If you were a robber, would you have just turned around and left?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we found this to be effective. Okay, ready? Here we go. Stop.
The
Okay.
window's open.
It is open. I know. Everyone in the neighborhood's concerned. My dog's concerned. She's like, what is happening? Right? So when this goes off, if you have this underneath the door and someone pushes the door open, in my 2-story house, I'd say that you'd be able to hear that upstairs and downstairs. You want to test that? Want to go downstairs? Go downstairs in your room, close the door, tell me if you can hear it. Ready? We're about to do this again.
Yeah, I heard it.
Ruby's like, what? He heard it. Right, so if you're in your house and this thing goes off, your dog's gonna hear it, you're gonna hear it, even in closed bedrooms, your neighborhood will hear it, right? So if there's a deterrent of like, oh my gosh, I just set something off, I wanna be undetected, someone might hear this and call the police. There's a whole lot of people who could hear this. Are you okay, Ruby? Was it so loud? Right? She's like, here I am, I'm on guard, I hear the alarm going off, and if someone did walk in my house, she would attack. Right? That's been enough of that loudness. I'm gonna take this one out and put this one in to show it at the door. Oh my gosh. I can put the cover on. Dying battery. Much more quiet. Much more quiet. Okay. It's on high sensitivity. When I press this and take my hand off, it's still going off until you turn it off. Let's test that on low sensitivity. Yep, once you set it off, it's just going to keep going off. My dog is seriously a little bit concerned. She's like, I'll just stand over here. Dying battery, not making a whole bunch of noise. When I turn this on, I'm gonna place it here. So, at my front door, there's a big gap. It's not like it fits directly underneath there, but when somebody opens it, it's gonna set it off. You ready? Now, I can just continue to pull the door open. Is this going to be a deterrent from me opening the door? No. Not gonna keep people from opening your door. Is it gonna set off that alarm the second they do open the door? Yes. If you're looking for something to keep someone from walking into your house, invest in good locks, right? But if you're looking for an added measure of somebody opening the door, if they do get through your locks and this going off, it's good. Basically, that loud alarm is going off telling you there's somebody already in your house. If this is going off, it's because somebody has successfully gotten in. And that's gonna be the case for a lot of home security systems. Some downsides for this. People who are breaking in might become aware that this is where the sound is coming from. Like, it's going to be so startling that most people probably won't think about it. They hear an alarm going off and they're just gonna run. People could get smart and realize that the noise is coming from this and reach down and turn it off. If you're at home, you will still have heard it. You will still be aware that somebody's in your house. If for some reason somebody knows that you are away and out of town and they're able to get in and disable it within a couple of seconds, then your neighborhood probably won't be on alert, and this definitely won't notify you that somebody's in your house. So if you're not at home, is this a good alarm system to set there? No, it might scare somebody off, but they'll just run and leave your door wide open. But they can see where it's coming from and simply turn the thing off. And then nobody's the wiser unless you live in like an apartment complex, and then somebody might get up and come out and see what's going on. I do think that there are circumstances and times where this might be smart, where you don't want to invest in a home security system or spend a whole lot of money. Because honestly, this isn't expensive. You could buy this and just use it as a doorstop, and on an occasion where you're traveling and you want to bring this with you for your hotel room, you just pull it out then only, and hey, guess what? It's not expensive to have an extra little something. You can take this with you while you're traveling in a hotel. Now, I thought to myself at first, like, okay, if I'm in a hotel room, I'm gonna turn the deadbolt on. I'm gonna put the extra security lock. So if someone, even if they had a card to my room where they could get in, they're gonna have to break through the door to physically get in. So I'm gonna hear that before I hear this. But there are places around the world that don't have like those very secure bolting locks in hotel room doors, in which case having something like this is smart. You might scare somebody off. I did read a review where someone said they brought this to a hotel and a housekeeper used her key card the next morning, and I guess this person didn't hear the hotel housekeeper knocking, and they opened the door and set this off, and she went, I mean, it probably like scarred her for life. That is not what she was expecting when she went to work that day. In that scenario, I'm like, why didn't you just put the lock on or put in the do not disturb sign? I don't get it. There are some places that are not going to have locks like that, where this is an added sense of security for you when you're staying in a hotel. Another scenario that I thought of that this would be really great for, number one, because it's inexpensive, and number two, because it's that added sense of security in places where you can't control your environment, exactly who you're living with and where, is if you're a student and you're living in student housing. Perhaps you're living in a dorm, or you're living in an apartment, and let's say that your roommates tend not to lock the door. And in student housing, college areas, it usually draws some creepers that come out and do weird things. So extra security with this. All right, my dog's crying. Her favorite has come home. Okay. She's safe. She's well. She's not being attacked by anybody coming into my house. Let's say you're in a dorm room and you can't lock the door or things like that, and you have reason to feel uncomfortable and unsafe. Put this underneath the door, and if anyone's trying to sneak in and do anything shady, it's gonna set this alarm off and everybody's gonna hear it, right? Also, in an apartment scenario, story time, I'm gonna tell a story. When I was living in an apartment while going to college with a bunch of roommates, the apartment next to us, they had a scary creep come into their apartment. They frequently left their door unlocked, thinking like, we all get our out late and in at different times, so they just left the door unlocked, assuming that the last person in at like 3 a.m. was gonna lock it. Anyway, whatever the scenario, in the middle of the night, one of them woke up and saw a naked man standing in the room over by their roommate, rubbing her leg while she was sleeping. Horrifying, right? So they had another scenario where someone was going around in the middle of the night, people were up and in the living room, and somebody tried to open the door and come in, and then they chased him down and caught him and called the police and stuff. We didn't know if it was the same person. People were going around for weird reasons, just testing to see apartments that were left unlocked. Moral of the story is, if you're home, lock your door at night. And most people that are looking for an easy whatever, if the door is locked, they're not going to try to come in. But in this scenario where there was 4 different individuals living there, you might be one that locks the door, but then somebody comes home and they shut the door and leave it unlocked. We all have a key, just use your key when you come home. Everybody lock the door at night. If you live in a situation where roommates aren't really good at locking the door, then you're gonna wanna go to the next step of putting like a personal lock on your door, so that when a creepy naked man does come into your apartment, sorry, this is Friday, they're not coming into your room. You can either have a lock on your door, but of course, like personal locks on interior doors are really easy to pick and get open. So if you're in a situation where you're a little bit nervous that your outside door is not going to be locked because your roommates aren't very responsible, or maybe you don't trust your roommates to come, that they might come into your room, you think that they might be stealing things, or you just don't trust them, or perhaps they're friends that they're hanging out with that are there at late hours and you just get weird vibes, having this would be really good, because if anyone was like just trying to come in, they're gonna stop right there if they don't want to be caught, because they're gonna be taken off guard by this loud noise. So if you're traveling in a hotel, you're a student that's living in an apartment or a dorm, and you're living with a bunch of different people, and your roommates can change often, so there just might be some times where you don't feel as safe as like living in a house with your family where you trust the people that live there, then this is a good idea. Also, not expensive. A couple of dollars is not gonna break the bank. If you never end up needing to use it, oh well. So those are situations where I think, that might be a good idea. And it just scared the crap out of my son when he opened the door when I just set this off. So if somebody's jumping and they're looking to not cause alarm and they wanna be quiet and stealthy and just get in and do something easy, then yeah, this is definitely going to be a surprise. And it is, I can't even say a fraction of the cost of a home security system. It's below a fraction. It's like nothing in comparison to a home security system. Right? If a door bumps into this, the thing's going off. If your battery is dying, it's not gonna be too loud. If you've got a full battery, you're gonna hear it through your whole dang house. If you have an apartment, definitely everywhere. And if you live close nearby people, all of your neighbors are going to hear it as well, right?
I got this product on Amazon, and as usual, you can find the product link for this in my write-up below. Thanks so much for watching and supporting my channel. If you are not already subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to know when my next video is coming out. My one regret is that you did not get to see my son's terrified face when he walked in the door and the alarm set off. Oh.